Okay, officially, it's still, we only have like five or six, and then all of a sudden the numbers will jump. Officially, happy Friday. Welcome to the Options Income Launchpad Weekly Market Wrap. I am Scott, and I'll be your host and your friend. As always, what we do is for education and illustrative purposes only. Nothing we do is intended as a recommendation to buy or sell any security or a financial product. We're not brokers or advisors, and therefore we don't give personalized investment advice. Decisions made should be done so at your own risk. Okay, let's go. Let's go. What are we doing today? Market analysis. Let's look at the posture. Trades that will carry over the weekend. What to look for next week. Review the opportunity. Yeah, okay. Section 4. We're wrapping up. We're wrapping up section 4. So that's halfway. Right? Halfway. Okay, let's go. Let's go get into it. There it is. Oh, let me move this out of the way. Market posture. Let's get our charts up here. SPY. Okay, what's happening today? We gapped down. We struggled up a little bit, struggled down a little bit. Now we're more up than down. What's the good news? We're unlikely to have any additional volume spikes. We had one to start the week, which means I'm probably, well, let's go through this one at a time. Let's just kind of talk through. We'll have some time here. We'll have some time. From this standpoint here, my long-term trend is going to stay the same. Nothing's going to change there. I don't see any reason for it to change there. That's the final. That one's pretty easy, going from week to week, to be fair. So that's good. Okay, so let's drop down. That's going to stay at a 1.25, which, interestingly, is, these other 5 components together equal a half a point. And the other half a point is actually right there. So if you look at the trend, that's giving me all I have, and everything else is kind of a wash. Volume is down a quarter. Major markets up a quarter. Sector rotation down a quarter. VIX is up a quarter. So it's just sort of like the rest of that stuff is all in a very similar place, as it were. Or I guess as it is. So let's go look at that short term to see if it's going to stay in the same area this week. And the answer is yeah. I mean, look, this is where we ended last week. We started with a sell-off. Then we recovered to go a little higher. And now we're back here. And at the end of the day, we're just a little bit lower than we were at the end of last week, but not enough for us to think that the sellers have regained control. It didn't make any new higher highs. It didn't make any new lower lows. So a 0.5, which is a neutral score with a little bit of a bullish underlying tone. Where does the bullish underlying tone come from, you might ask? So this certainly feels more neutral. Obviously, it's kind of sideways, but we still have this bullish underlying tone here. It's never done lower lows, lower highs. So I'm going to, until it breaks this low right here, it's not going to lose any more points. Right? But until it breaks this high here, it's not going to gain any more points. We'll probably just sit. This right now to me is what I would consider to be a 0.5 right there, right? People might be like, Scott, it's a 0. It's straight sideways. No, it's a 0.5. If you want yours to be a 0, make it a 0. Okay, so those are both going to stay the same. What about volume? What about volume? You can see we're about to lose a couple of tie days, but we're going to have these two sells another week. Then they'll get stale. Even when they get stale, what's most relevant? 2 sells, 1 buy, 1 tie. Now that is a 0. Unfortunately, though, I can't disregard that I still have these 2 days here, these sell days. So due to that, right, that actually makes us a 4, 1, 1. We'll just cancel these ties out since they're so close to the edge. That is a minus 0.25. That's what I think it's going to be. Maybe the next week, as long as nothing new shows up, we can organically jump. We wouldn't even need any above average volume days. We would just jump. And that would give us an improvement. But as of right now, I'm still a minus 0.25. And if you notice, if you look at like what's the slope of sanity? Well, it starts here and it ends here. A little bit on the above, a little bit below, but overall, this thing certainly has a bit of a concerning orientation. So what does that mean for my score? I'm actually a minus 0.25 now. So it's going to stay. It's not going to get better. You can see ChatGPT is at a 1.25. It's probably going to drop that back to a 1, I would imagine. It's at a 0. It's likely to keep the 0. Maybe the new volume this week will have it push that to a minus 0.25. Sector rotation, I don't think there was much change. So I think these two will probably stay the same. We'll see if theirs does. Let's go look at the VIX. I think I'm going to stay at a 1.75. Which, again, what's the first thing we're looking for after the market goes through some kind of a consolidation? Stability. Well, we'd like to see it stabilize. It stopped going down. Then when we start to see the positive momentum, then we can be like, okay, yeah, what does this move us to next? Okay. Rotation holding up, John Welsh asks. Yeah, I mean, maybe to some extent. We certainly haven't seen much defensive rotation. We've seen like a neutral rotation, but not defensive, where we're like, oh, look, the sellers are taking control, the blah, blah, right? I don't think we've gone that far. Okay. Let's see. Okay, sorry. I had to let my dogs in the office. They were knocking at the door. Let's look at the VIX, and then we'll move forward. Let me get this back to 6 months. Let me type it in so I don't stall things out. This thing is... We haven't broken above that, but we have taken out that previous body and this body with where we are right now, you can see. And we have, as you can also see, a stochastics turning. This is very, very, very concerning. Well, I'll tell you what I would love to see to ease a little bit. I would love to see the buyers come in and see this VIX. Right now we're at 1999. I would love to see it back below 1960. If it got back below 1960, I would be like, I'm not calling that a higher low. As of right now, I'm looking at it thinking, it's right on the fence. It's a judgment call. But a higher low indicates what to us? In ongoing further escalation. And if you think about, like, what did that mean here? That's when we start to get worried about, this thing shooting back up towards this 27, 26 and a half to 28 range. So I want to hear from the group. We've gotten a few more numbers now. Do you see this as a higher low as of right now in this present form? If we do, oh shoot, I messed that up. Where was that? There. Okay. If you do, no one's answering. I know it's hard. Someone be bold. Yes or no? High or low? If you think it is, what are the implications of that? That is a minus 0.25 on our VIX score, which in point of fact would take the score to a 0. And if it's another higher low, I would say, yeah, that is a 0. And if it breaks above 22, then that's where it goes negative. Breaking this into this, and now we're negative up here. That's exactly the way. I'm a little bit leaning John's way to be like, yeah, that's a higher low. Now, what does that mean to trades we're going to carry? Carry trades that have a defensive note to them, a defensive, right? So, some things are just not going to look as good. But like Walmart is doing fine. It's got a bit of defensiveness to it. Dow is coming back. It's got some defensiveness to it. Micron has pulled back a little bit, not a ton, but that one's one you might think, well, if I got this far, do I give it the weekend? Because I make money over the weekend with positive time decay. So when we're going through and doing this assessment, this should be what you're using to inform your decisions. What do I sell? What do I sell some of? What do I tighten stops on? What do I leave alone? Place the bear call spread on the TQQQs. Okay, there you go. I would still look at this as stability. Even if I have a minus 0.25, that would still bring me back to a 1.5. That's stable. I'm not like, oh, I'm dropping again. It's a quarter of a point. So I'm not going to be hugely concerned with that quarter of a point. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Looking at a quick couple of trades. Give me 1 second here. All right. Let's start at the top. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Alcoa. No, Apple. You can see Apple pulling back. Didn't get back to the old high. We've got ADM. Ooh, Archer Daniels is actually, if you were looking for a new trade, now I don't know that I am, but this has some defensiveness to it. Archer Daniels is turning up. That's a potential. Things like this, AMAT reached a new high. Now it's pulling back. And now I do think to myself, hey, as far as technology stocks go, this has got some strength to it. Right? This has got some strength to it. AMKR held support. I'm gonna give this one a little more time. Held the 50, held support. What am I thinking to myself? I'm thinking, okay, why can't I get you something along here? A call on Netflix, puts on Qs, up on all so far. Nice. There you go. Love it. Love it. Amazon stalled out underneath here, right? Very much stalled out. There we have APH. ASX on a pullback. Looks okay there. Is this American Express or all credit? Let's go look at a couple other things. Not MasterCard. Not Visa. Capital One did gap down and fell 6%. AXP 7.5%. None of the credits look very good. Here's Baba down. Bank of America, none of the financials look very good right now. It's just there's not a lot of strength in that group. BCS is down. Ooh, look at Bud. Budweiser has made a little bit of a turn. If you think that trend is going to continue, there definitely could be some momentum in there. Something to keep an eye on, but nothing that I would be thinking of trading to necessarily today. Okay, let's keep going here. Another financial down, Citigroup. Caterpillar. Ooh, so Caterpillar gave a little head fake right there. I have to think that a good number of people maybe bit the thing that saved us on that one, because we were loving industrials and we were loving Caterpillar. What did we not love? We did not love the options. So our liquidity requirements were very, very helpful as far as that goes. Okay. Okay. CF. CF is up a little bit. Coherent. Coherent setting up. I like Coherent. I think Coherent's looking good. Cisco? Man, I don't know about Cisco. Kind of in no man's land. Oh, so. Okay. Delta, and if there was anyone left in Delta, as I said, Delta was one I had shut, but if there's anyone left in Delta, hopefully you had a new stop set oriented around this path. We said, if you stay with it, you need to put a new path. There is no second hiccup. Right? This first little shift did okay in the end. Nice. This first shift here, okay, but boy, I'll tell you what, we get tighter on the second round. Which would mean, hopefully that if you saw this, you were out pretty early. Okay. The Dow today, not good, down 1%. Everything was. And then here's Dow. So let's map this one out. We see a potential bounce here. Next day it drops but holds. The next day it hammers but holds. Today, same low, and we're back into a position. But it's the same deal. So if I had been looking for, let's get a line on here. Let's get a line on here. I think it was 36.50. Let's try this. Does this look right? Maybe it's 36. Activate. Dow never triggered. Okay. Well, nothing wrong with that. That's about right there. Oh, come on, Scott. What are you doing? Son of a gun. Whoops. I'm going to give it a little room. This one went faster but got there. So let's take the hybrid of that. Make this a little faster but a little slower than this one. If we had done that there, that would have put us real close to 36. And if we say we have to move that to here now, I still think we have 35.5 on the target. Thoughts on reducing? I'm going to keep the whole thing and give it a chance. So I guess we'll see. Um, okay, let's see. Let's go GE. Nice, Doug. Well, I'd like to think the call had a lot to do with that. No, I'm just kidding. GE flagging looks bullish. GE's looking strong in a strong sector, industrials. We're trying to stay aligned with some of that money flow. Okay, gold. Okay. I got assigned Ford when it went 1 penny over. So you had 400 shares, but just sold it for, oh, okay. So you got assigned at 14 and sold it at like 14.8, 14.10 maybe, or 14.0. Like, what was your exit price? Oh gosh, 14.75. That's amazing. Well done. Well done. Okay. Google. Oh, Google's close. Google on a hiccup for me is good. I like Google. It did this. It's pulling back. If it stabilizes and turns, then I'm thinking, hey, I'm going to try to catch it here and ride it back up to 350 or so. That's what I'll be looking for there. Goldman smashed. No good. Okay. Okay, let's see what else. Home Depot, no. HL, no. IBM, down. Intel's down, but possibly in a hiccup. If we see something like this, there could be a little sneaky signal developing there. SPY has come back. Okay, we'll stop and take a look at that. IWM, not as much. Lumentum may be flagging for an entry, but it's a $700 stock now. MasterCard, a little overextend, or a little bit fighting the trend still. No break of the consolidation yet. Meta sideways. A monster pulling back now after earnings. How did earnings do? Did okay, actually. Did pretty well. Morgan Stanley down. Microsoft down. Micron tested down again. Same place that we held through last time. It popped up, pulled back a little, popped up, pulled back a little. Holding. Hey, if 400 is the support level, that's actually, let's see, what were my strikes on that? I can't remember now. 410 by 420. Oh, I need a little bit more. I mean, I'm still profitable. It gave some back today. But I would like to see if it could pop back up here by next week. That would be fantastic. Time is on my side right now. Netflix looks okay. Let's see. NU, I don't think there was anyone still holding on to this. Caught Netflix yesterday. Nice. A little continuation trade, right? Nvidia continues to get beat up post earnings. Palantir's continuing to struggle. Here are the Qs. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Rocket Lab reported their earnings. They were a little worse than expected. Gap down but held the 100. We'll keep our eye on that. Ross Stores still strong. Earnings coming up. RTX for defense stocks. That had a little bit of a turn right there. Right? That definitely had a little bit of a turn. Okay. Iran, a little bit of that. A little bit of that. Let's see. Okay. Silver. Okay. What's next? SanDisk. I think SanDisk is actually in a setup kind of a position. We'll keep looking at that. Okay, let's keep going here. Here's the SPY now. Let's see if we've got a little bit more. It does seem like we have a little bit more comeback. Yeah, we got back to the high of the day, then sold off a little bit. A little bit. STX. STX possibly setting up for something. SYY. Ooh, SYY. God, I'm going to look at that for a Monday morning trade. I don't love trading into Friday afternoons. My thought for something like this is going to be, it's valid on the signal, But I'm going to try to see if I can't pick it up in here somewhere. It's above the midpoint of that candle, but below the high. So I'm going to actually look at this trade. Maybe we'll even go through it a little bit and see like what does that look like if we were to pick it up in that little range right there. We'll come back to that. TJX up a little, Tesla down a little, Taiwan Semiconductor kind of failed to go, but still overall has a pretty clean look about it, I would say. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. VALE. VIK. No. Skip the VIX. WDC. And of course, Walmart. Walmart looking okay. I think Walmart definitely looks like what we want to see to carry through. Not worried about that one. Going to keep that one. Looking for what's next there. Here is the VIX. It's pulled back a little, but not much. It got down here to this 1986 level. Let's go back. Yeah, we really wanted it below 1960 even. I don't think we're going to see that. I think it looks like a higher low. I think we're going to have to drop the score. Okay. Let's see what's next. I think we need to play with not a butterfly. We will maybe look at one of those next week. I'm going to look at this for now I'm blanking. What was my signal? What symbol was that? Now I got to go find it. Damn it. No. SYY. I remembered before you guys did. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm actually going to put this into a template. Just to get ready here. Keep me organized. This is for SYY. Direction is bullish, of course. Entry range. So I said I wanted above the halfway point. So we'll say anywhere from like 90.01 to like, we want a little better if we can. 90.75. 90.01 to 90.75. That's where I'm going to look. 90.01 to 90.75. Actually, I'm even going to go 90. What's the high of this here? I'm going to say between 90. .08 to 90. This is going to be pretty specific. High is 90.33. 90.60. The stop, I think we can go right underneath here. 88.65. Down to, I mean, you could go down to 87.80. Primary target. Okay, we've got our numbers in here. Let me get rid of this drawing tool. 96.90 to the upside. And a potential take profit. We'll say at 94.75. Okay. Equals, let's say that we get in target minus, let's say we get in at 90.60. And if we got out at entry here, minus stop loss here, equals $2.25 is all we have. Is that right? That can't be right. If I enter at 90.60 and I get out at, that's $2 of risk. And 96.90 minus, that's $6.30 of gain. What's wrong with my math here? And then I should have a 3-to-1 here. Equals D4. Oh no, it's D6. It's D5 minus, okay. This equals that minus that. This equals entry minus this stop. Sorry, that's where I got confused. There we go. 3.2. 3.2, 3-to-1. I actually think that's reasonable right there. I got a little stuck in the math. Was that making sense what I was doing there to everybody? Let me know if yes or no, or maybe so. So I was just kind of playing around with putting that exact reward to risk ratio in. I probably should just do that. but it never know that much about the entry. However, implied volatility on this, very low. I mean, it's not the lowest of its own range, but it's low. I'll put implied volatility as low. Time in trade is probably going to be 7 to 10 days. Okay, so let's see how much the option would cost. Okay, so let's go start building this thing in. SYY. And we've got 6 minutes. I get if you're bored, you're going to leave. Don't leave. It's exciting. 96.90. That's our primary target. We have a secondary target of 94.75. We'll put that in as well. Our stop loss is 88.65. And slices to slice it, reorder. Okay, now we go to add simulated trades. I'm thinking singles. And we're thinking maybe we're going to the the spreads are iffy. Oh, I don't love these spreads, you guys. Why did I think they were better? We saw thousands and hundreds. But I'm not loving these spreads here. A lot of slippage on this one. But now that we've done so much work, I'm like, but I like it. Interesting to watch the process. Okay, good. She's like, and the process probably should have been to go check the open interest first. Don't you think? And I'm like, yeah, probably so. That makes sense. If that's the kind of thing you're into on Fridays. Oh, logic and reason. Let's still play with it just because we're here. We've got 2 minutes. Let's say I went with this guy. I knocked 55 cents off of it. Actually, no. Let me go back to the risk profile. If we got this, it would be on Monday. So that would be on Monday the 2nd. Monday the 2nd. And 9104, no. 94.75 is where... No, where did we think we would get in? We thought we'd get in at 90... We'll call it 90.55. That's where I think I'm getting in. At that price, it would be 90.55. Yeah, that'd be a pretty cheap option. All or nothing. All or nothing. I think I might like this a little bit. If I buy those, all or nothing, meaning there is no like mitigated risk. There's no stop loss. Melody. Does it tell you who the instructors are? There's actually still a few guys that I saw like on LinkedIn, a little like meet our instructor team, and I went through and it was probably, yeah, tell me who they are. And then tell me who they are if you can look it up. And then I'll tell you if it's worth going up and saying something to them and being like, hey, Scott Beck told me to come up, say hello. They'd remember me. Post it. Okay, post it. I'm gonna Google it right now. I'm so curious. You've got me super curious. And curiosity definitely kills the cat. How do I can't copy that? Oh, that's funny. All right, I guess I won't look yet. Let's talk about it. All right. Anyways, all or nothing. This thing could have, let's give this some time. Let's go a couple of weeks. I'd still be making, if I'm risking all of it, I'm still getting 2-1 here, 5-1 here. Anyway, I'll look to put that out. We'll see what we think about it. That's time. Go enjoy your weekend, everybody. I'll see you on Sunday morning. It's great to have you guys come hang out with me to wrap this week up. Conditions are not easy, but here we are, getting through it together. See you soon. As always, happy trading.